Hey guys, my name is Nathan and this is my story. At the age of 2, I had a stroke, and this stroke was caused by the bleed to the brain. And the stroke caused me to lose the right side of my body. I wasn't able to smile with my face, or I wasn't able to lift anything. About 6 years later, the doctors wanted to find out what caused the stroke. So they had an MRI. In case you guys are wondering what an MRI is, it's where you go under a tunnel thing and it takes images of your brain. After a couple weeks, the doctors came back, told my family and I that I had a brain tumor that wrapped around the main artery that the stroke was from. And the doctors didn't know if this tumor was there when I was at the age of 2, when I first had the stroke. They wanted to figure out what caused the stroke. Still to this day, they never knew what caused the stroke. But years passed. I went about 5 years of just having MRIs after MRIs after MRIs, finding out the tumor was growing. It wasn't fast, it wasn't growing at a fast pace, but it was still growing. And we went through so many doctors. We traveled to Denver every 6 months. We traveled to San Antonio to one of the best neurosurgeons. And they all said the same thing. They said, we can't go in because it's too dangerous, except for one, and that was at UNM here in New Mexico. Finally, at the age of 13, he said, we need to have surgery because it was getting too big. First surgery date was March 18th, 2019. The day came, I was prayed over by many people, but here over at Legacy, I was prayed by my L Kids team, like with the L Kids team, because I was serving here in L Kids, and I was said I won't be here next week, but I had the surgery the next day. The next morning, woke up at 6:30 a.m., was there about 7, was able to have the surgery. It went well. 8 hours later, I was out. I was kind of out of it when I first got out, but I was in the hospital for about 3 days afterwards. The first day I wasn't able to get out of the bed. I was still like nauseated. My head was huge on this side. The second day, I was getting a little better. I was starting to walk. The third day, they decided to do a scan on me again, which was they put, it's called a EEG, where they figured out if I had seizures or not. The next day, they actually released me, and I was thankful to God. I was just so happy because I was out of the hospital. I was able to walk, get back into the car, drive home, eat without throwing up. And then actually the next Sunday, which I was telling them, I won't be able to come and serve, I was actually here serving. And then we go a year, we find out, I do more MRIs to see if the brain tumor is still growing. I found out it was still growing after the first surgery. We found out we had to have another surgery. God had kept me stress-free. I went in, I was like, this is God's plan. I'm going to be in and out. After 10 hours, they took the 30% out of my brain tumor. I was alive. They closed my head back up. The next morning, I was actually feeling great. I was eating and I was walking. And the doctors were like, what is this? How's he walking? It's been less than 24 hours out of from the surgery. And I kept on walking. I was like, I want to go home. I want to go home. And finally, the doctors were able to sign me out. Less than 24 hours, I was out of the hospital, back at home, normal, just doing my normal things. God healed me fast. I mean, the doctors were like, how is he able to do this from this type of surgery? Because I was supposed to be in there for like 5 days. They said 3 to 5 days. Now, it's been 2 years. It's been about 2 years since that. The brain tumor has not grown. God has been awesome. He's worked so much in my life. Both surgeries, I recovered quickly than most people would, and that's all to God because he helped me and he healed me quickly. There are many people that go through many things like what I went through, which is they have brain tumors, or they go through the 6 weeks of radiation, or they might have brain surgeries that can be very, very dangerous. And some people don't live through that. But God has a plan, and he has a plan for you also. Now, there might be trials that you might go through, but that has a purpose. It can be a testimony to others, to encourage them, or it might be to help you grow through your life. I'm thankful that I have the ability to serve others, which is you guys, the L Kids. I actually serve here at the Central Campus, and I'm so thankful that God has given me the ability. I love you guys. I love God, and I just love serving with you guys and loving having the ability to talk with you guys and to connect with you. I am living proof that God is good and that God heals. And that right there is my story.